My husband's little secretary waddled in with her baby bump and paraded herself in front of me, fresh from my miscarriage. I summoned what breath I had left and snarled that she was shameless, only to be served a cease and desist letter. Defamation of character, issue a public apology for 15 consecutive days. My husband's voice was ice. Refuse to apologize to Chloe and you leave here with nothing. Get lost. I stared at the man I once loved, nodded calmly, turned around, and posted a 10-second clip titled "My Bad." Day 1. The internet detonated. Views rocketed past 1 million. Day 3. Vance stock hit the lower circuit. Day 5. Sam dragged the entire family to their knees, sobbing for me to stop. I lifted my phone, all innocence. Sorry, babe, 15 days, remember? Today's apology is uploading, now. I had just come out of the DC. Sam's secretary showed up at the door, one hand cradling the gentle swell of her belly, the other slapping an ultrasound photo across my face. Mrs. Sterling, I came to check on you. You're too old to give him a child, but I'm here. Relax, I'll take excellent care of Mr. Vance from now on. I gave a cold laugh, raised my phone, and snapped a picture of the scan, and of her, then hurled it into the company-wide WhatsApp group of 3,000 employees. Shameless duo. CEO bangs his secretary, and now she brags to my face. The chat went tombstone silent. The bomb was too big, nobody dared reply. 5 minutes later, ping. You have been removed from the group. At the same moment, an engine growled outside. Sam burst through the door. Crack, a palm across my cheek. Vivian, you vicious witch. Jordan ing her in front of the entire company, how will Chloe ever show her face? She's pregnant, if anything happens to that baby, I'll destroy you. I pressed my burning cheek, staring up in disbelief. Jordan? A brittle laugh tore out of me even as tears trekked down. You cheat, she's pregnant, those are facts. You two dare to do it, but you gag me from saying it? Sam yanked at his tie. Every trace of love had been vacuumed from his eyes, only irritation and frost remained. That doesn't give you the right to call Chloe shameless. Apologize, now. A wife kneeling to the other woman. My eyes bulged, humiliation surged like a tide. I never imagined the man I married would not only deny his affair but order me to beg forgiveness from the homewrecker. My nails carved crescents into my palms. And if I don't? Sam's lips curled into a smile, pure ridicule and contempt. Wise up, or I'll have you out on the curb with nothing. Ping. A cease and desist letter glowed on my screen. Vivian, you have defamed our client. Issue a public apology for 15 consecutive days or face litigation and substantial damages. ***. My heart flatlined. I gave a slow, serene nod. Fine. Sam looked appeased. He laced fingers with Chloe and sauntered out of the Vance estate, never glancing back. Cramps knotted my abdomen, warm wetness already soaked me. I gripped a chair and hauled myself upright. A hollow laugh sputtered out, salty with tears. But I would not collapse, not until the two of them paid. A plan, hazy but lethal, began to form. I swiped the tears away, opened the country's biggest short-form app, and hit post on my apology video. You want an apology? I'll name names and apologize with bells on. My lips curled in an icy smile. Finger tap, ***, publish ***. Upload bar, 99%. Go live? I tapped yes. Within seconds the clip was loose on a platform with daily traffic in the hundreds of millions. Cover image, me, chalk pale, bowing. Bold caption, ***, I was wrong, apology to my cheating husband, ***. On screen, I meet the lens. Hello, Chloe. I'm Vivian, wife of Vance CEO Sam. I'm here to apologize. You visited me right after my D.C, belly swollen, flaunting your affair with my husband. In anger, I called you shameless on the company WhatsApp. That was my mistake. Still cramping from the surgery, I keep my voice steady. I shouldn't have lost my temper or aired ugly facts in public. I realize my conduct hurt and inconvenienced you. I sincerely apologize. I bow deeply. Straightening, I add, please accept, or my husband will leave me penniless. Recording ended. The pain intensifies, knives twisting in my gut, but I grin. This time the smile is real. Step 1 of my revenge is in motion. Comments trickle in, all mockery and question marks. This chick psycho? Rowan? Fam, you believe she's the Vance Queen or believe I'm Genghis Khan? LOL, wife apologizes to side chick, AI couldn't script this. Cap or not? A handful defend me, but the ridicule drowns them. The thread keeps swelling. I stay mute, feed the fire with $1 million of promotion. Views climb, 5,000, 50, 100,000. Soon comments outrun likes. When the play counter ticks past 1 million, I pin my marriage certificate and the lawyer's letter to the top. Real life, screenshot away. The internet implodes. Holy, actual cease and desist. Checked her profile, she is Vivian. Not Cap. She really posted this. World's officially broken. Only in Riverdale can the tea be this scalding. The hashtag VanceWife apology rockets to the trending charts summit. The numbers kept climbing. The next second, my phone exploded in my hand, vibrating like it was having a seizure. Sam. I hit decline. He called back. Again. 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 I let it ring itself to voicemail every single time. Finally, the call stopped. A text popped up. Take the video down. I don't want your public apology, okay? 2 exclamation points. I could practically see the veins bulging in his forehead. Face, he's always cared about face more than oxygen. I stared at the screen for a few beats, then smiled colder than the air conditioning in a morgue. Screenshotted. Posted it in the comment thread. Added a reply for the spectators. My husband wants 15 days of apologies from me. Same time tomorrow, see you here. The replies lit up like Christmas in July. Ha 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 yes, setting my alarm. Queen, keep swinging. Some voices dissented, girl, that apology was lazy. Drop the exact coordinates, state, city, company names, Chloe and Sam in bold. Subtitles, please. We're not lip readers. I laughed out loud. Typed back, fingers flying, copy that. Tomorrow I'll bring the fine print. Day 2. I dropped the clip on schedule, good as promised. Took every scrap of advice, subtitles, emojis, and, my favorite touch, surveillance footage from the Vance estate, trimmed and color-corrected for maximum sting. I'd been a fool, trusting Sam. Rewatching the tapes now, I can see the timeline. Sam and Chloe had been at it for a year. While I stood at the stove, stirring his favorite stew. While I was on a red-eye, whispering I miss you through airport Wi-Fi. Even while I lay on an operating table, tears mixing with antiseptic as I lost our baby. My husband and Chloe were on our marital bed. Deep kisses, limbs tangled, the works. I swallowed another painkiller. Couldn't tell which hurt more, the aftertaste of the pill, or the afterimage of them. I forced myself to replay the clips, hunting the most graphic seconds, stitching them together like a horror montage. Slapped crimson timestamps in the corners, date, hour, room. To dodge another cease and desist, I slapped tasteful mosaic over their bodies, just 2 writhing Tetris blocks humping in 4K. The abstract masterpiece went live. I didn't spend a dime on promotion, the algorithm did the work. Likes rocketed past 100K in an hour. Comments went nuclear. Disgusting. Make them pay. Your pain is our war cry. I had typed and ready, then the screen cut to black. Playback error. I refreshed. System notice, cold and clinical. Content removed following complaint by the party depicted. I stared at the line until it blurred, ice water running down my spine. All that agony catalogued, erased with a click. The trending chart was already overrun by paid bots. Hashtag Vance CEO forced to apologize by homewrecker Vivian. She's clout chasing, slandering her own husband. Ban her account. Mr. Vance is Riverdale's most eligible, he'd never cheat. Poor Sam, married to such a psycho. Love is love, Team Sam. The painkiller wore off, cramps started wringing my stomach like wet laundry. I gripped the phone. Laughed instead of screamed. Sam thought a takedown would gag me. He has no idea how loud a scorned woman can be. Amid the tsunami of hate, I uploaded apology video number 3. Good evening, Sam, president of Vance Corporation. I'm your wife, Vivian. I guess my last 2 apologies weren't sincere enough, which is why you had them erased. Lesson learned. I'll be more thorough. I lifted a folder to the lens. White pages, black ink, crystal clear. I was wrong to dial 911 when I discovered you'd embezzled company funds to buy Chloe a townhouse. Wrong again when I begged you to stop after you opened a shell company in her name offshore. For that I was rewarded with bruises and a miscarriage. So tonight I'm making amends, by releasing the receipts. Here are the ledgers tracing every dirty dollar. Here are the incorporation papers for the shell, plus wire transfer confirmations. I, Vivian, swear on every frame, this is fact, not fiction. The internet blinked. Where yesterday's thread was full of laughing emojis, now only exclamation points remained. She just sent him to jail, OMG. Crown her, Queen of Riverdale. At the end of the clip I spliced in one last surveillance audio bite. Sam tilts Chloe's chin, baby, once the money's parked offshore, we disappear. Sunshine and daiquiris for life. Chloe giggles, you sure we won't get caught? Relax. If the bomb blows, Vivian the dinosaur takes the heat. His voice, honey-dripped venom, colliding head-on with the devoted husband brand he'd sold the world. The clip detonated. My comments became a courtroom. At Riverdale SEC, do your thing. At DA office, manifesting handcuffs. Then the blue-check verified account of the Municipal Commerce Commission appeared. Complaint received. Multi-agency investigation underway. Updates to follow. I smiled so hard my cheeks cramped. The phone rang again, not Sam, not Chloe. My mother-in-law, High Priestess of Riverdale Society. I picked up, polite as a concierge. Good evening, Eleanor. No nasal snort this time, only ragged sobs. Vivian, you loved Sam once. How can you destroy him? Please, I'm begging you, delete the videos. I listened to her breakdown, heart rate steady as a metronome. Mom, I begged you too, remember? Begged you to pull your son back before he drove us both off a cliff. You told me I couldn't keep a man, a gold-digging Cinderella, you said. Funny how the shoe fits on the other foot. She wheezed, words tangling in snot and shame. Fine, I was wrong. But he's still your husband. I let out a dry chuckle. Husband? He forfeited that word the first time he raised a hand, the second time he forged my signature. Silence, then a whimper. I delivered the coup de grace, almost sweet, keep streaming, Eleanor. Tomorrow night, the spotlight turns to you. She gasped like I'd shoved her into ice. I hung up first. I powered off my phone and leaned back on the sofa, letting every frame of the past unspool. Sam and I had been each other's first loves. From high school uniforms to a wedding gown, he had sliced his own wrist to force his dynasty-level parents to drop their arranged match and bless our marriage. He personally sketched every detail, obsessed with perfection. All to give me a city-stopping Vance Sterling wedding. He would brew brown sugar tonic when my period arrived. He would sit bedside the entire night when fever pinned me down. Back then I swore I'd married love itself. After the vows, Sam marched into Vance. Suddenly he was always busy. Endless meetings, back-to-back flights. Home became a place he visited less and less. I told myself he was simply swamped. Until I walked in on Chloe locked to Sam in his office, mouths crushed together as if glued. I overheard their plan to hang the crime on me. I yanked out my phone to dial 911. Sam shoved me down. My skull cracked against the desk edge, blood ribboned across my cheek. When I woke in the hospital, the doctor said the baby was gone. I pressed a hand to my belly. Empty. I would never carry a child again. Next morning the trending chart detonated. #Vance Corporation scandal, reputation in free fall. #Vance stock hit lower circuit. Headlines screamed nonstop. My phone overflowed with missed calls, friends, Morgan, my parents. Not one from Sam. Not because he was still bluffing. At midnight he'd been dragged into investigation. I let every Morgan call rot. I posted the stories on my feed. Alex, same time today, I'll keep apologizing. Followers flooded the comment box, isn't Sam already locked up? Why still apologize? A thin, icy smile curved my lips. Not enough. Even caged, he remained Riverdale's golden firstborn. Once released he could coast on family power and rise again. My job, strip every prop from under him, hurl him from the clouds into the sewer, no ladder back. I answered a fan. Today I owe my former mother-in-law an apology. I shouldn't have helped cover Sam's real parentage after I learned the truth. The thread imploded. Wait, there's more? They spam-bagged, what secret? Spill, we're dying. The clip stuttered while uploading. I knew millions were holding their breath, Morgan among them. I could almost taste their panic, their grinding teeth. They loathed me for dunking the Vance name in public shame. Yet they were powerless. Sam himself had mailed the cease and desist letter ordering 15 days of public apology. I was merely obeying. The apology clip opened. I bowed, polite. Sam, former CEO, hello. I'm your wife, Vivian. You're probably in your cell right now, no phone allowed. But apologies wait for no one. So today I say sorry to you, and to your father and mother. Though from day one you both dismissed me, mocked me, treated me like a stain on the crest. I still apologize. Sorry, my former parents-in-law. I shouldn't have argued when you said a husband cheats only because his wife fails. I shouldn't have sobbed when you made me copy the family code 100 times. And I absolutely should not have kept quiet after guessing Sam isn't your biological child. I lifted the corner of my mouth. Slowly, I raised a DNA paternity report to the lens. Black ink on white. Richard Vance is excluded as the biological father of Sam. I held the sheet high and bent into another graceful bow. Sorry. The clip cut dead. The crowd wanted more. Inside the Vance estate everyone went stone stupid. A friendly maid whispered that after the video my father-in-law clutched his chest, nearly blacked out, and inhaled half a bottle of nitro pills. Once he could breathe he swung his arm and smashed a slap across my mother-in-law's face. Crack. Bitch. His eyes bulged. I treated you like a queen and you cuckolded me? Made me raise another man's son. She sprawled on the rug, scarlet prints rising on her cheek. Clutching her face, she stared in disbelief, then wailed. I didn't. Sam is yours. I never cheated, never. Always ice-poised, she now sat tangled-haired on the floor, screeching her innocence. Noblesse vanished. Her husband sneered through his teeth, then explained the report. Evidence slapped on camera and you still lie? She opened her mouth, tasting real injustice for the first time. She too wondered, no affair, so how could the boy not be his? The mansion imploded, shouts, sobs, chaos, vases wobbling. When the maid finished recounting, I laughed out loud. My dear parents-in-law, self-crowned royalty, who floated above mortals in imagined control, this morality wreck was their bespoke hell. Overnight the Vance dynasty turned into Riverdale's biggest joke. Sam was under investigation. Eleanor rumored an adulteress. Richard rushed to intensive care. Riverdale's elites pivoted faster than weather vanes in a hurricane, creditors spammed demands, bankers froze credit lines, the ticker bled scarlet as shareholders dumped everything that smelled of Vance. The once jammed gates of the estate now echoed hollow, only a few loyal staff remained. Fresh out of lockup, Sam heard the cascade and froze. He never imagined. A petty demand that I grovel for his mistress's pride had somehow detonated the empire. Company, gone. Fortune, gone. Even Dad, almost gone. Sam panicked. He ran to my front door. He pounded like a madman, desperate to see me one more time. Babe, that paternity test, it's fake, right? How could I not be my father's son? Open up. Explain it to me. What secret do you know? Forgive me, okay? Let's start over. I'll treat you right this time. Tears and snot ran together. His bespoke suit was filthy, the artfully styled hair now a chicken coop, razor-sharp cheekbones buried under two-day stubble. I opened the door. Sam's hoarse voice cut off. Taylor, his eyes flared. Babe. You'll finally see me. He reached for my hand. I stepped back, revulsion creasing my face. I flicked a folder at his feet. Divorce papers. Sign. My tone was light. Just like the day he'd flicked a cease and desist letter at me. Sam stood frozen. Disbelief flooded his eyes. The once docile woman who'd hung on his every word had turned to steel. Divorce? You're divorcing me? I studied his haggard face. Yes. No. I won't allow it. Sam's face twisted between tears and laughter, voice shaking. Vivian, all these years, how can you walk away like this? I know I messed up. Give me one more chance, please? Before the last syllable left his mouth, a ringtone sliced the air. On the other end Chloe sobbed, "B-babe, the whole internet's cursing me. Someone left a funeral wreath at my door, through feces. I'm hiding in a hotel, too scared to step out. I'm pregnant, our baby." Sam cut her off, "Lose it." What? Chloe's crying hiccuped, stunned. Sam frowned, ice cold. If you hadn't gotten sneaky and pregnant, flaunted it in Vivian's face, none of this would have exploded. Chloe screeched through tears, "No. Sam. How heartless, this is your child too." Sam had no patience left. "Go quietly, or I'd drag you there, pick." I heard her hysterical, unwilling wail through the speaker, "Sam. You'll pay for this. Just wait." Sam hung up. He looked up eagerly, ready for praise. "Vivian, did you hear that? I told her to kill it. From now on I'll love only you." Looking at his eager grin, I felt physically sick. "Sam, you think that balances the scale? You are dreaming." He couldn't believe his ears. He grabbed my wrist. "You hate me that much?" "Hate?" I shook my head. Shook him off. "I don't hate you, hate wastes energy. Right now. My only wish is to send you on your way." With a soft laugh I watched the shock bloom on his face. Don't want to sign the divorce papers? Fine. I swung the door shut, leaving one last line in the air. Wait till tomorrow's apology clip goes live, then you'll beg for mercy. Next day. 10 minutes before the clip was scheduled to drop. My door shook under fists. I opened it. So many people. Sam, Richard, Eleanor. Even Chloe, paper white, held by 2 bodyguards. Everyone who'd sliced scars into my life. All here. Every shred of old arrogance had fled. Their eyes dripped guilt, terror, deep remorse. Sam dropped to his knees. Wife, I already had Chloe's baby aborted, now you can forgive me. Before I could answer, he snarled, apologize to my wife, now. On command, the guard slammed Chloe's forehead against the marble, again and again. Thud, thud, thud. Each impact a dull drum. Chloe's face oozed hatred, but pinned, she could only shriek, I was wrong. I'm sorry. My heart stayed flat. It was only noise. I turned to close the door, a hand locked around my wrist. I looked back. Eleanor, tears striping her cheeks, voice cracked, Vivian, the Vance family wronged you. Even if you can't forgive us, tell us, what does that paternity report mean? I stared down at her, arctic. You want to know? Then beg. Her jaw clenched. She dropped. Knees on my threshold. I smiled. I raised my phone, sweeping the lens across every face. Livestream viewers, how's this opening act for you? Morgan's complexion flipped. Phones flew from pockets. My account had gone live 10 minutes earlier. Every shameful second was already racing across the internet. The chat window detonated, 100,000 watchers and climbing. Under that glare, Morgan dared not move. They could only watch me smile into the camera. Ladies and gentlemen, for my safety and to keep this apology from being yanked, today it's happening live. I'm here to apologize to every Morgan. I'm sorry, my bad. I shouldn't have blurted that my husband isn't a Vance by blood without showing proof, leaving my mother-in-law scolded and slapped by my father-in-law. I paused, letting the lens linger on Eleanor's swollen, mortified cheek. So today I'll provide the evidence. Proof that my mother-in-law never cheated. And proof that my husband truly is not Richard's biological son. Comment barrage, pure question marks. Wait, I'm lost. Streamers cracked? If mom never cheated, how is hubby not dad's kid? What rabbit hole plot is this? Under the nation's eyes. I pulled another paternity file from my bag. Test subjects, Sam, Gary. I tapped the 2 printed names, speaking slowly, this Gary, he's Mrs. King's husband from the Vance estate. In that instant every Morgan outside stared, pupils dilated, glued to the folder. Sam's face bleached sheet white, he shook his head in denial. Impossible. Honey, please stop. Eleanor's body swayed, barely able to stay on her feet. Richard clenched his fists so hard his knuckles went white and roared, what the hell is going on? I smiled. I lifted the final line of the report straight into the camera's eye. One short sentence, Gary is Sam's biological father. I looked into the lens and, through it, at the Morgan clan on the lawn beyond, too stunned to speak. Word by word, Sam is the fake heir the nanny swapped in. He was never the golden boy born with a silver spoon. He's just an ordinary kid spawned by a housekeeper and a drunk. You're lying. No. This can't be real. Sam lurched up as if lightning had struck him and lunged to snatch the paternity test from my hand. The bodyguards pinned him down. Daughter-in-law, no, Vivian. My former mother-in-law rushed toward me, her face streaked with tears. Do you know where my real child is? Please, I beg you, tell me. I stared at her coldly, saying nothing. When I stayed silent, she dropped to her knees, sobbing, Vivian, I was wrong before, blind and vicious, but my child is innocent. Please, have mercy and tell me." Richard stepped forward, his own face pleading. "Vivian, say something, the Vance family can't lose its true bloodline." At that moment Sam, still pinned to the floor, struggled like a trapped animal. His eyes were vacant, and he kept yelling, "It's fake, all fake, you're all lying to me." I sighed softly. Pity crept into my gaze as I looked at Eleanor. I had someone investigate. "Your real child fell ill at age 3. The treatment cost $5,000. Mrs. King knelt before you, begging for an advance on 3 months' salary, but you refused. That child died." Richard and Eleanor froze. The straight spine Richard had always prided himself on crumpled in an instant. He looked decades older. His flesh and blood had perished because of his own heartlessness. The son he had poured every resource into wasn't even related to him. And the whole Vance dynasty had been dragged from high society into a nationwide punchline. Richard's breathing suddenly turned ragged. He clutched his chest and toppled over. Eleanor screamed his name while fumbling her phone out to call 911. "Dad." Sam instinctively lurched toward him. Eleanor shoved him away. "Get lost. You're not my son." Sam stumbled and crashed to the floor. His mouth opened, but no sound came, he only gaped at Eleanor. The Vance security team beat Sam and threw him out of the estate. With a broken leg he dragged himself to my gate and knelt. "Vivian, there's no going back, is there? Now I have nothing. Are you satisfied? I know I was wrong, really wrong. Hit me, curse me, just give me one more chance." A siren wailed in the distance, drowning his sobs. Sam's face went white. He looked up in panic. You called the cops?" I shook my head and answered calmly, "Not me, Chloe." After Sam made Chloe lose the baby, her love flipped to hate. Originally she had vowed to take all the blame for him. Now she'd recanted. Not only did she point to Sam's financial crimes, she produced even more evidence. The siren grew louder. Sam panicked. He tried to stand and run, but the broken leg made it impossible. The police took him away. Watching him shoved into the back of the cruiser, I felt no pity. He'd courted every ounce of it. Days crawled by. Day 15. I logged back into my account and posted an apology clip. By now Sam and Chloe had been jailed for financial crimes, waiting for trial. Richard, felled by a stroke, lay paralyzed in bed. Eleanor had traded couture for nurses' scrubs, changing bedpans day and night. The once mighty Vance family had dissolved into mud. And I could finally step out of the shadows and restart my life. I looked into the camera and said slowly, "Hello everyone, I'm Vivian. This 15th day apology isn't for Sam. It's for the foolish girl who once believed in love and in him. I used to think we'd grow old hand in hand." At that, I exhaled softly and smiled straight into the lens. Still, I'm grateful for his affair, it let me see his true colors. From today on, I begin anew. Alex, for your attention these 2 weeks. I wish every one of you a bright, smooth future. My 15 Apologies series broke the internet. My followers exploded. Major media outlets ran features, and brands showered me with endorsement offers. My career rocketed to heights I'd never imagined. Much later I heard news of Sam. He'd hanged himself in his cell. His lawyer delivered a letter he'd left for me. I stared at the plain white envelope. Calmly, I flicked my lighter. Click. The paper curled into ash. Whatever he'd written, curses or contrition, no longer mattered. He was history. I'd already marched forward into my new life. Thanks for listening to today's story. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it? If you liked this video, please like and share it with friends. We look forward to your comments. and don't forget to subscribe for more gripping tales. See you next time.